Welcome to the Old Shots channel. Here you will find unique historical photographs that tell amazing stories from the past. After tragedy left the city in ruins, the man found a letter among the debris. A small piece of paper, smoke swirling all around, and his weary gaze. This was all that remained. The message contained just one line: "Wait for me at home." That single phrase gave him strength to keep moving forward, no matter what. This photograph is all that remains of one of the most mysterious figures of the 19th century. The man in the picture is the young inventor, Nikolai Svershkov, who vanished without a trace after announcing the creation of a device capable of preserving the voices of the past. He appears before the camera for the last time right before his disappearance, in an old studio on the outskirts of St. Petersburg. Rumor has it that on the back of the photo, a strange phrase was scratched. "The truth is hidden between light and shadow," a message for those daring enough to seek the secret of his fate. To this day, neither the device nor any trace of Nikolai has been found, and the photograph continues to stir the imagination of adventurers and historians, dreaming of uncovering its mystery. This photo was taken in the spring of 1940 in one of the European cities experiencing the anxious days of World War II. The picture shows a courageous woman secretly passing newspapers with the latest news about the resistance to the occupiers, risking her freedom and life. In the shop window's reflection, a group of soldiers can be seen who never noticed her brave act. This image has become a symbol of the hidden heroism of ordinary people of the era, whose courageous deeds changed the course of history in the most unexpected places. This soldier was known for his remarkable composure and a secret mission that no one suspected. In the spring of 1940, he was ordered to infiltrate the city's underground movement to prevent an attack on the army headquarters. But witnessing the suffering of civilians changed his heart. He started passing crucial information to locals, saving dozens of families from arrest. His name became legendary, though the true story of his bravery was only revealed many years after the war. One autumn morning in 1932, townspeople gathered on the main street, eager for the latest news about the economic crisis. People who had lost their jobs exchanged survival plans and secretly hoped for change. Among the passers-by was a young woman named Evelyn, who had just managed to get work as a newspaper delivery person to support her family. That morning, she witnessed strangers coming together to help each other, despite the hard times. In a small room at the conservatoire, 4 friends, composers, gathered to discuss a new piece written after a stormy night. The atmosphere buzzed with anticipation. Some believed in its success, while others hesitated about performing it. Outside, a city thunderstorm raged, but inside, inspiration and a passion for music reigned. Days later, this music would debut before an audience, and their lives would never be the same again. A shabby schoolroom is lit by a single kerosene lamp, casting the teacher's tall shadow on the wall. This evening, she tells the children about the power of knowledge despite the modest conditions of the rural school in the 1940s. Each child listens intently, dreaming of one day changing their own fate. It was in such simple but important moments that future scientists, doctors, and teachers were born. This photograph captures a moment of silence amid the chaos of war. Soldiers gaze at the ruined city just after a fierce battle has ended. Some of them stand among the wreckage for the first time, realizing the price paid for the liberation of this place. In the distance, a solitary silhouette of a woman appears. She cautiously returns to her home, hoping to find some piece of her preserved past. This moment became a symbol of hope. Despite the trouble, life gradually returns, where the storm raged not long ago. This photograph captures a street in an occupied city in the early 1940s. In the foreground, residents watch anxiously as a patrol of fascist soldiers passes by. A quiet fear hangs in the air. Adults go about their business, but children stay close to their mothers. At this moment, no one knows that within days, the city will be swept up in a wave of resistance, and the first secret leaflets calling for freedom will appear on the walls. On an autumn day in 1940, the streets of Old London were flooded by a great inundation. Residents rescued one another, pulling children through windows to save them from the cold water and filth. In that moment, time seemed to stand still, and strangers became one family, fear, care, and hope intertwined against the echoing brick walls. For a brief instant, the street's gloom gave way to the warmth of human kindness, reminding us that even in times of disaster, humanity will always find a way. In this rare black and white photograph from the late 19th century, a scene at the Agora market is captured. Two grandchildren help their wise grandmother sell fresh vegetables and fruits. The girl skillfully weighs apples in a woven basket, while the boy counts coins from the day's harvest. Despite their modest clothing and simple trade, a sense of joy and family unity shines in their eyes. This day at the bustling market will surely remain a memorable adventure in the heart of the city. On this misty day in 1917, the soldiers in the trench heard a mysterious whistle, followed by a flash. A shell exploded nearby. One of the fighters, hiding a letter from home in his palm, quietly whispered poems to his beloved, trying not to lose his mind from the horror. And at night, these same men became storytellers. Under the rumble of distant gunfire, they shared tales of their former lives, dreaming of a peaceful dawn that never seemed to come. In this historical photo, the legendary festival of the mid-20th century is captured, where the entire street was filled with laughter, music, and colorful flags. People in retro clothes danced right on the pavement, and vendors treated guests to delicious pies, bringing out genuine smiles and ringing laughter. Somewhere in the crowd, someone accidentally launched a shower of confetti, instantly turning everyone into children again, delighted by the surprise. It was a day when even the grumpiest passerby couldn't resist joining in the cheerful dances and contagious fun. This unique black and white photograph captures the vibrant spirit of a city street in the 1940s. Every detail breathes history. In the background, you can see old buildings, while in the foreground, people are hurrying about their daily routines. The image transports viewers to an era when cities were just beginning to move to the rhythm of industrialization, still preserving the warmth and charm of a bygone age. Scenes like this invite us to imagine the lives of those in the past and to feel a connection with the stories. The crowd of protesters holds their breath, raising signs against injustice. In their eyes are fear, hope, determination, and sorrow. This shot captures the moment when the fate of an entire era hangs by a thread. On this photograph, a woman stands in front of the ruins of her home, her world divided into before and after the war. She lost her children amid the chaos of evacuation, and every morning she returns to the wreckage, hoping for any news. In her hands, she clutches a faded letter, the last trace of her loved ones, who could be anywhere. Her face carries the pain of loss, but in her eyes glimmers a hope for reunion, undiminished by war or time. A group of children stands by the side of a quiet street in an old town. It might have been an ordinary day in the late 19th century, when life moved slowly and the grown-up world felt distant from the concerns of childhood. Vanya, the most curious among them, has just finished helping his father at the mill and rushed outside. Today, a horse-drawn circus wagon is expected, and no child would miss such an event. Beside him stands Glasha, always neat in her dress, and Petya, who often debates with Vanya, but is unmatched when it comes to fixing homemade wooden toys. Behind them are Katya and Seryozha, the youngest, who always stick together. The children spend quiet evenings on this very street, playing hide-and-seek or chasing dragonflies by the pond behind the house. Sometimes their grandfather tells tales of wonders in distant lands, and each of the children dreams of someday venturing beyond the horizon, where the world of grown-up adventures begins. In the 19th century, childhood was fi. In this vintage photograph, a barefoot newsboy stands on a sunlit cobblestone street, clutching a stack of newspapers, surrounded by old wooden shops and a passing horse-drawn carriage. His gaze is lifted, as if dreaming beyond the daily rush, while the scene around him hums with the energy of an early 20th century city. The image feels like a time capsule, capturing the spirit, hope, and contrasts of a world on the brink of change. A moment of Ukrainian summer in the 1930s freezes in this black and white photograph. Peasants with sickles blend into the golden field as the wind sways the ripe wheat. Far in the background, children dash between the stalks like shadows of the past, adding vitality and movement to the scene. A subtle film effect makes the photo resemble a family relic found in an archive. In this unique photograph, as if captured in the heart of the 1940s, a group of people stands by an improvised radio station, relaying the first news of a great discovery. The anticipation of change lights up their faces, while through a small window, silhouettes of curious townsfolk gather to hear the message of a new era. A gentle haze adds mystery and hope to the scene, as if the whole city is holding its breath, awaiting the next word. In the black and white photograph, George Washington poses in a formal suit, his expression calm yet determined, as if preparing a monumental decision for his country's future. Sunlight gently filters across his face through the window. It's as if the sun is shining, illuminating the path of history, and giving the portrait a subtle warmth from the past. This moment seems to bring the figure from centuries ago into the present, blending solemnity, intrigue, and a sense of quiet strength. In this portrait, set against the bustling streets of the 1940s, two young people are captured, their eyes full of hope and tenderness. They meet by chance on the street and pause in the shade of an old building to share a smile, perhaps realizing for the first time that something important is blossoming between them. Their story is just beginning, and this moment, caught by the camera, is filled with an air of romance and anticipation.